Well, hello and welcome back to the Tao Manifesting Tarot, the tarot reading that is exclusively focused on your ability to manifest. Nothing else. Not predicting the future. We're predicting, we're forecasting, we're measuring and adding to your ability to manifest better. It's a very simple thing, which is what makes it somewhat tricky. You're doing it all the time, but on such a small level that you really may not notice a difference, although you might notice some serendipity in your life. That's you manifesting. But by and large, the bigger the project, the more difficult it appears to be. So what we have here is just one picture for the about 12 minutes or so that we're doing the reading. It's this right here to minimize visual distraction. I want you to focus on the message. I want to create pictures, not on a screen, but in your mind. That's where the power comes from. I want to tap into your subconscious and inspire you. That's the whole point of this. If I can inspire you or help to, you start making those pictures in your mind, you're well on your way to manifesting. But remember, all of this is potential energy. You can tap in, tap out. I do a reading every day, 365, and each one of them is slightly different. All depends on the energy of the day, the energy in the cards. But you decide to tap in or tap out. So let's begin. 2 rows, as you see on the screen. The middle card in the front row, the middle card in the back row are the first and last cards in the reading. Therefore, they are influential. So let's begin. Front row, middle card, breathe. Breathe. Well, it looks like she's in a really good place. And she is doing the single most important thing that we can do as human beings, breathing. You can go without food for 3 weeks, maybe longer. You can go without water for maybe 3 days. But try going 3 minutes without breathing. Pretty tough. Few people can do it, but for the majority of us, we wouldn't last 3 minutes. Breathing is what brings in the oxygen into our system. It activates our living chemistry. It is essential. And because of that, it really, just the act of breathing, affects our metabolism on such a profound level. It's one of the easiest ways to de-stress yourself. Just breathe. 3 times, deep breath. Does magic. Does magic. So basically, as I look at this gal doing this wonderful meditation, the expression feel the flow comes to mind because she's in the flow. And when you're breathing, you're in the flow. One of the reasons, by the way, if you do aerobic exercise or even anaerobic, maybe just weightlifting, if you do it, you notice how much better you feel at the end of the session. Big reason is you are breathing. Yeah. Most of us sit at a desk all day. Have you ever caught yourself sitting at the desk and almost not breathing? Very shallow. That's not good for you. It affects the chemistry in a negative way, affects your mood in a negative way, changes everything in a negative way. So this gal with this breathe card has the core essential thing that you have to take care of, your breath. You take care of your breathing, you feel the flow. And that's extra special good. So, first card that we're going to start reading with, all the way to the left, bottom row. This person does not feel like they're in the flow. It's the 9 of Swords. Swords are thoughts, ideas, beliefs. The 9 is nightmares, grief, distress. And because of all that, maybe even illness. I mean, you see this person, it's the middle of the night, and he is just in his head, agonizing. His thoughts are killing him. You shoulda, coulda, woulda. Oh, man, I messed this up. Oh, I'll never get this. Oh, all this negative stuff comes blowing in at him. and he gets overwhelmed. He's not in the flow. He's not breathing. You notice when you get in that kind of a situation that he's in, breathing slows way down. And in fact, sometimes you just don't breathe. So no, he's not feeling the flow. But that's all about the change, at least the potential. Here's the World card. The World card talks about completion, wholeness, integration. You are feeling the urge to feel the flow. Maybe you're not doing it in some area of your life. You just feel out of... A comedian from the 60s, and you have to be of a certain age, and I am, a comedian by the name of George Gobel had one of the best lines I've ever heard in my life. It was on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. And he's been brought onto the stage with Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, part of the Rat Pack. And when he sits down, he says to Johnny, "Did you ever feel that the world was a tuxedo and you were a brown pair of shoes?" Well, fashion for that time said you didn't do that. You wore black shoes. But he said, "I'm feeling out of place." And that's where you're at in your life right now. The Nine of Swords says, man, you are suffering. Your brain, your thoughts, just wrecking it, keeping you out of the flow. But the change is around the corner. The World card says wholeness, integration is right around the corner. What you got to do is stop thinking. Stop analyzing. I mean, you have to think, right? I mean, just to walk across a room, you have to think about how you're going to navigate through the room or pour a cup of coffee or make dinner, whatever. You got to think about that stuff. That's different. Analyzing, that's where the problem lies. And the Four of Swords says we can negate the Nine of Swords by just resting, stopping thinking, stop analyzing. And in this position, the Four of Swords is considered resting, right? Retreat, de-stressing. What's one of the first things he does is breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Get in the flow. So you can leave that Nine of Swords energy, step into a period of real success with the Four of Swords. But you got to choose to do it. Won't happen automatically. Lover's card. That's what gives us the clue. The Lover's card, yes, talks about relationships, but it talks about union, harmony, choices. Love of yourself. Love yourself enough to take care of yourself. A lot of people don't. A lot of people do things that they know are not good for them, but they go, well, what the heck, you know. It's how I was raised, what I'm used to, what I like. Yeah, but it doesn't like you. Well, you know, you got to die of something. Really? I mean, it's true, ultimately, yeah. But that doesn't speak very highly for how the person feels for themselves. And that's what the lover thing is all about here. That's what allows you to feel the flow, to get out of your head with the Nine of Swords, to step into this new era of togetherness, of unity with yourself. Stop analyzing. Start feeling the love for you. Get in the flow. We go upstairs, card on the left, Six of Swords. Take the information that is useful, beneficial to you. The stuff you know is true for you. Move on. She's moving to a place where there's none of that Nine of Swords energy. She's got Six of Swords. She's moving to a better place. You do that as well. You don't have to physically move. You can emotionally move, mentally move. Just take you to a place where you have the lovers. You love yourself. You appreciate yourself. You're being good to yourself. Yes, I know it's better for me to do this than that, so I'm going to do this. I am, as we see with the next card, Ace of Cups, going to love myself. But the next two cards give you the clue as to what you're going to have to do. Seven of Cups talks about confusion. Cups in tarot often is considered love stuff, right? Doesn't have to be. Very often we confuse or conflate love with what we're used to. It's always been that way, so I love it. But yeah, it's not good for you. Yeah, but it's always been that way. And so the Seven of Cups says you're getting so much stuff thrown at you that you just get lost, you get confused. You actually lose yourself. Yeah. You're fantasy thinking, you're lying to yourself. What you got to do is the Seven of Pentacles. Reevaluate what's important to you and why. Do you want to stay like that Nine of Swords and agonize, try to superanalyze stuff that you can make the change with? You just have to make the decision to breathe, to feel the flow, to love yourself, to respect yourself, to say, look, I'm going to take what I do know works in my best interest and I'm going to change. I'm going somewhere else. I'm going to think a different way. I'm going to feel a different way about myself, more positive, more optimistic. I'm going to choose to look at life in a different way. That is the final card in the middle up top, the vice versa card. It is the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man means that you need to see yourself and the situation in a different way. Upside down. Let go of what you've held onto all this time. Yeah, I know it's scary because you're used to what you're used to. But if what you're used to is not helping you, it's actually hurting you, it's time to make the change. It's time to take the hangman position, get a new perspective. Even though you're going to feel naked and vulnerable, it's going to make all the difference in the world. Don't analyze. Feel your way through this. Feel the flow. Breathe. Let it in and let it out. Keep that motion. Keep your focus. Keep your center. Feel the flow. You can do this. That's the reading for today. Back tomorrow again with another Tao Manifested Tarot reading. Hope you're here with me. If not, between now and the next time we have a chance to do tarot together, peace and blessings.